I basically just spent a whole year or about a year just being really cynical and pessimistic about things. And you feel the tension of that in your own body, in your spirit. And
Sure.
I missed myself when I was happy go lucky and just positive about things and just kind of smiling even if it wasn't returned, kind of a thing.
Hmm.
But that past year, man, it just taught me like I can't be that pessimistic or cynical because um, it's really taxing on
Yeah.
yourself.
If you don't mind, is there anything you can share that made you pessimistic?
I I guess it was um, looking back at it now. It seems kind of silly to put it in this perspective, but it's like my friend and I we had created an album
Hmm.
and we dropped it to the world, and it came out of nowhere, and it was 18 tracks original, and the reception to me was kind of like crickets chirping.
Yeah.
Like nobody in my life said anything about it to me except for one, two people.
Right.
And that was just kind of surprising. And I didn't expect it to have as much of an effect on me as it did, but it did for a while. And thankfully, I've moved on from that. But that was the thing. And just that phenomenon, crickets chirping. You're an actor. I'm sure you faced this as well. You work really hard on something, right?
Let
You
me
pour a lot of your soul into it, but then the reception is crickets chirping, like nobody says anything, but maybe everybody's seen it?
let me put it like this. I guarantee you half of the silence is watching, at least. And there are three F words you learn from this situation. First is fuck. Second is friends. And third are fans. Now, you'd think the latter two connect, that they should synchronize in a beautiful way. But unfortunately, they don't. And what I've really learned is you cannot expect your friends to be your fans. And there's some realistic things I think about that. Like for example, I'm a fan of all of my friends. Maybe that's just me personally, but I can't expect that of everybody. But that being said, there's a little bit of pessimism there, but it's less pessimism and it's more just realism. Why would you expect a
Exactly.
dog to never bark, right?
See that last part again?
Why would you expect a dog to never bark?
Mm.
So conversely, why would I expect my friends who are busy to be worthy of fans? You know what I mean? Uh, I unrealistic expectations just cause issues, with your own mind. The only thing
Yeah.
you can truly control is yourself, and there's a wonderful saying that uh your city will never support you like anyone else will, like they just there's something about it, and it actually goes all the way back into kind of, I suppose, Bible times, but like there is a big thing about your city never supporting you as much as other cities will, as much as strangers will. And it's
Yes, yes.
very strange.
It's so true. I wrote a poem and I'm forgetting it exactly, but the premise of it was um, I don't need to know who you are because that will breed more problems. Our strangeness will help us serve a purpose. It's
Hmm,
always going to be the stranger that might care a little bit more than the person that's familiar.
that's good. Yeah, and there's a bit of a there's always, I think what it is psychologically is there's always going to be a little bit of a, I know this person, so they're not special. I know this person, so they don't surprise me. You know what I mean? And that's something that I think brings a lot of people grief Because what they'll do is, I've seen this on so many people's accounts. They'll be posting just themselves and maybe some trip they went on. They get the like 100 likes. They're like, oh, I feel so good. I have all these likes. Like that matters. Uh, but then they'll post one little vlog. They're trying to be a vlogger, or they're trying to be something. They'll post it, and crickets. And that's what it is, man. It's consistent. It's also, there's a little bit of a bad side of humanity in that they never want to see other people doing better than themselves. And I don't know, maybe it's just my own personal beliefs, but if somebody ever does better than me, I'd just, I'd hope there'd be a little rope behind them, if that makes sense. And I don't know why we don't do that more often. I think most people inherently, if helped up to a big situation, would help the people who help them. Some people don't, right? But I would bet on the odds more that if we helped every single person we know get to somewhere bigger, at least some of them will bring you with them. Bring you with them, right? And I don't know why we don't bet on those odds more often. It's not that hard. It's very much I've picked up my phone, I tap it to open the screen, I have it scan my face, I see a post, and I like. And that is how long it took to support someone. And you never know that let's say your book, let's say 100 people end up liking one of your posts, and somebody somewhere, maybe it's a distribution company, sees the amount of likes on that and goes, wow, almost everybody I've seen only has 5 likes. I'll give this kid a shot, and it could have made a difference. Or, for example, this is a sad thing, but there are some viewers, or as I just call them, people, everybody likes to categorize people now, but, people will just do this, but they'll see a video with 5 likes and be like, okay, well, it's not good enough for my time.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Isn't that crazy how that works? I'm guilty of that too. Like, wait, how many likes does this have? Okay.
Right. No, because I mean, how many amazing things have we missed out on because of that? I struggle to be that person. I've always been if this 100 like video is in my feed, I probably am seeing it for a reason, so I watch it. Maybe I know that's rare, but I don't know. And those videos, I'll tell you what, the few 100 like videos I've actually watched, because they don't pop up very often, so when they do, I try to watch them. I'll usually like what it is. I'll send them a DM, and they'll be more responsive than any freaking million like video I'll ever see, right? Like, you're able to connect with real people whenever you're sent something like that. And it surprises me that people don't do that. They want so badly to have, let's say, a director talk to them. Well, guess what? You have like 5 in your city. You know them. You want so badly to have, I don't know, this singer talk to you, or this novelist, right? Here's Omer. Talk to him. You know what I mean? And I think people really do believe in the power of the robotic number. There's nothing separating someone with 1 million followers from that kid in his basement who's writing a masterpiece. You know what I mean? The only thing that does separate them is the realism of the business, the entertainment business, which is the eyes have the say. You know what I mean? But even then, today, God, it's so annoying. I'll give you a real example right here of this scam at work. There will literally be 1 million follower accounts trying to sell you some acting course or some nonsense. And you can literally look at their fucking posts, pardon my French, and their comments are turned off, and they have maybe 50 likes on the video. I mean, they bought the followers. You know what I mean? Like, none of this is real. It doesn't matter. We all turn off the social media. We get off the tube. I am a person with skin and flesh. and so are you and everybody else. And I think we need to start talking to people like they're equals again. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Little tangenty there. I'm sorry, but just the follower enigma. Like, I'm never going to be somebody who does something to get a follower. You know what I mean? It's just a number. You know. I don't know about you, but how many of your followers even send you a DM? Maybe 1% of my followers talk to me. I'm so serious. Like, yes, more than 1% will interact and comment, maybe, but actually talk to me on a daily basis, no. Let's be real. Maybe 1%, maybe 2. Unless you're just a very cool guy, very popular, and I just don't know what that's like.
I love everything you said, man. That's really insightful because sometimes I feel like when I bring conversations like this to certain people, they can't quite see it the same way.
Hmm.
But I imagine it's because you're an artist yourself, you're creative yourself. You can see the lens I'm speaking from.
Hmm.
I liked how you said it's not so much about the pessimism, but it's realism.
Yeah.
And that is the realization that I've had recently is you can't get mad at the reality of the world. It just is the way it is, you know? But the good news is the game is fixed. Like you just got to get better at the rules, you got to get better at XYZ. And at the end of the day, your work will speak for itself.
Hmm.
Um,
That's good.
yeah. But everything you said about, social media, all the eyes that watch, but they're silent and this and that, it's true. It's true. I don't know what else to add to it.
The
But
only thing
it's
I
just
would say
true.
is pessimism is definitely an egotistical emotion. I'm going to tell you why. Pessimism is an egotistical emotion because it's implying you can control it. It's implying you can change it. Because I used to have those big feelings like I can change even if it's just a little bit. No, 100% you cannot control another human being,
You
not
really
even
cannot.
the closest people.
Cannot.
What you can do is be a good influence. But unfortunately, if the world isn't looking at the man in the mirror, it's not going to change. It can't just be you.